that empty your mind. Shapeless.
Okay, this is a short video on changing your drum heads and sometimes the impact that different drum heads have on your actual overall drum sound. This is a Premier XPK 16 by, I don't know, 18 floor tom. There's nothing actually wrong with this floor tom head. It looks a lot worse than it actually sounds. I'm not sure on that wee camera whether it's actually going to get much of a quality sound. Let's just remove the microphone here so we can get the head off. This is the same procedure that you should go through every time when you're tuning any drum head. The snare drum, same process again, but you have the snare wire on the batter, or sorry, on the resonance side, and that makes it a wee tiny bit trickier. All I'm doing here to begin with is I'm just loosening off the drum heads. I usually go from one side to the other. Same process you use if you're changing a wheel or tightening anything that requires to be even or balanced. And I don't overly tighten my drum heads. We're not tuned very high or anything, so there doesn't usually be that much pressure on them to begin with. So warping up the actual hoops or anything is not really of concern. But either road, if you go from one side to the other, it will help prevent that. Whereas if you loosen off one and carry on around, keep going on around that way, as some people suggest, prevents the warping of the hoops if they're being over tightened. But actually, I would say it would be more likely to cause them. Anyways, let's get this off. And this, if you are doing this process all around your toms or around your whole kit, and you've just went out and bought yourself a new tom pack or a new pack of heads for your whole kit, it's quite an expensive handle, you know. So listen to other drums with the heads that you're about to buy on them. Think of the wood that's in them drums, the standard or the quality of those drums opposed to what you have, what the tonal qualities of the heads that you're buying are. Some will be more bright and have a sharper attack, others will be have a lot of warmth, maybe a lot of low end. So always research whatever it is you're spending your money on. Drums is not a inexpensive hobby or pastime or whatever it is to you. It gets quite expensive after a while. So make sure that you research what it is that you're purchasing. Another thing is, when you have your heads off your drums, that would be a perfect time to maybe give your whole drum a wee bit of a polish. I'm not going to bother about doing that today. I'm just going to loose wipe around with my hand. These drums are relatively clean as they are. I could do it with a cleaning liquid. Just remove any dust or dirt or any stick residue or anything, so it's nice to make its way down into the rim of the drum before fitting your other head. This head that I'm putting on here is an Evans oil-filled drum head. You can see these bubbles here. That's actually there's two quite thick plies, and in between them there's actually a film of oil. And at the moment, really what I'm doing is experimenting with the sound of this wee kit. So this should give me a lot less sustain, a rather 70s sort of quick sound. What I'm really doing here right now is I'm just checking to make sure the drum head is evenly bedded around the bearing edge of the drum. Right. Some drums, that's quite a snug fit in the speed drum. Some drummers will, some drum heads have a lot more play in them, and the newer albums have, of course, are called 360s. It's been experimented with for quite some time, but I just call it a different name. But I've always been a fan of Evans drum heads. Let's just lined up. What I'll do firstly is I'm just going to tighten everything up by hand. Finger tightness. Again, I'm going to use the same process as I did when I was loosening off. Of course, it's a lot more important at this stage to tighten up evenly. And just to loosen off. I'm going to take my drum head off. Just doesn't really matter. Again, finger tightness. I'm just going from side to side, and then I'll give it a wee listen. If you find that any of your tuning lugs are stiff and hard to turn, there's a few reasons why that might be. You may not have them lined up correctly. You maybe at a slight angle, and that will make them a wee bit tighter to turn sometimes. Another reason would be that maybe they haven't been greased in a while. I'm sure you can get specialist drum stuff for it somewhere, but what I use is it's actually a grease for brakes, one that doesn't damage any rubber components or drum heads. So this isn't finger tight. I doubt there's really going to be much of a sound with it at the moment because, as I say, it's not properly tuned up. I just want to have a wee listen. So Now, that wasn't actually quite as straightforward as I had normally thought. When the head went on, it seemed to be a little bit more stressed on one side than the other, and the crack that we heard was actually bedding itself onto the drum head. So you don't hear it too often, but you did this time. So that's my starting point there anyway. Well, it went roughly approximately 2 inches out from each of the tuning lugs, and I've evened out the sound. Normally what happened there wouldn't really always happen on a drum head. Sometimes what we do is we put a bit of pressure here and we stretch them, but as I was finger tightening this, I noticed that this side was certainly a lot more loose than the other. And that was just from eyeballing it really. I could see the wrinkles were there, and from the sound that it just wasn't right. But as we heard the crack, it bedded itself more in line. So that's approximately okay. What I'm hearing in the tone of this drum is that there's a short sustain, quite nice stick definition, there's a lot of depth and warmth, and it's kind of a flatter sound, something more that I would hear sort of very 70s sounding. So yeah, quite impressive. Actually I like the sound of it in this wee kit. That's good. So for me, I think this will be quite good for recording purposes because we have the short sustain. There's plenty of warmth there. Maybe some issues with the low end because it is quite high. And definitely a very strong sound from it. So yeah, good wee drum head. And as I say, that's the process that I go through when I'm tuning my drums, replacing my heads, having to do a repair on a drum where I have to replace the head. This example here, we did have a drum head that wasn't bending into place, which we heard the crack. Actually sounded like something one of the tuning pegs had maybe given up from the drum, but it wasn't. It was just the head bending in place. Relatively easily tuned, and would be a pretty nice addition to any drum kit. Okay, thanks.
I said empty your mind. Shapeless. 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 Like water. Now you put water into a cup.